talk that talk. Now, how's everybody doing today? I'm welcoming you all to my live stream of Call of Duty. Yes, I would like to live stream another game, but you know what? I got my God of War. I also play for the other Call of Duty, that Modern Warfare Remaster. I'm going to stream that too starting this week. No, I'm going to wait till I get my HDR television. That's what I'm going to wait for. I'm going to get that 49-inch LG HDR, and I can't wait to get it, baby. I can't wait. Let me tell you something, people. We're going to talk about everything here today, but I want to talk about love. Let me tell you something, the truth of the matter is. I'm going to give you a truth statement. You can't love nobody else unless you love yourself. But here's another true statement. If you only love yourself, then you can't love nobody else. Let me say it again. If you can't love yourself, you can't love nobody else. But if you only love yourself, you can't love nobody else. So when you're like, what it means? Okay, check it out. To understand love, you must care and want to see better for yourself. That is self-love. That is self-interest, right? Okay, we start with that one. If you have low self-esteem, you don't know what it means to care for somebody because you can't care for yourself. Okay? Let's get that out the way. Let's clear this up for a lot of people who don't understand.
Ready for a challenge now?
Okay, certain people don't know what it means to care for another person. They just don't. They say they do, but they really don't. Because if they did, they will be able to do things for other people. They only care for themselves. Now I've heard that said to me on many occasions by women that I've given things to, that I've been fucking, and one that I'm not. You only care about yourself, like, chick, I'm not even fucking you. So, to be honest with you, brothers and sisters, love is a complicated thing.
I managed to do that with just my knife.
People feel like that you owe them. I mean, honest when I say that. People feel like you owe them that you love them. You owe them that. You know what I'm saying? And when you tell them that, you know, you love them,
I bet me lunch money on you being able to get the job.
They don't understand why you don't do this for them, or do that for them, or do this for them, and do that for them. It's not what you do, it's who you are and how you feel. Now, if you can't care about yourself, once again, like I said, you can't love nobody else. Being caring for yourself and being straight selfish is two different things. I know a lot of motherfuckers get that mixed up. I care about me. Okay, but do you care about only you? I do. I say, but don't you want to have something be on yourself? Be honest with you, I don't give a fuck what nobody tell you, brothers and sisters. Every motherfucker get lonely. If you think you're lonely now, oh yeah, wait until tonight, girl. Bullshit is true. I'm gonna tell you something. I was in a long-term relationship, brothers and sisters, for a long time. When you get used to laying next to a motherfucker, when you start to wake up and that person ain't there. I used to hear these people say in these old back movies, my bed is cold, and I had no fucking idea what they meant. Nah, dude. Your bed is cold. You have no idea what that's like. Man, I'm just with you. A cold bed is like, man, I can't describe it. I can't describe it to you. I cannot describe it to you. When your bed is cold, it is like a certain kind of feeling that you don't want to you can't put a word to it. I'm being honest. I'm playing real bad right now, but that don't matter. Being honest with you, when I say that, when you got a cold bed, you feel a kind of chill in a way that people don't understand. Being honest, a lot of people don't understand what I mean when I say that. Wow, they are fucking us up. I mean, with the thing, boy, they just hurting our feelings right now.
All positions in enemy hands.
Charlie locked down. Enemy recon aircraft returned.
Being honest with you, brothers and sisters. It's hard out here being by yourself. It is. Some people say, oh, no, it don't matter. You need to, but to be honest with you, you say that, but you've never been by yourself. It really kills me when I tell people, like, you've never been by yourself, so you can't really say what it's like. You had your mama, you had your daddy, but you've never been by yourself. Some people don't know how that feels. And I can understand why they don't know how that feels. Because they've never been by themselves. They need to be by themselves so they can know what it feels like. When other people tell them, like, I don't feel right being by myself. They're not going to understand what you mean. Because they've never been by themselves in the world.
They're capturing Baker. Care package on the way.
Being honest with you. And I used to hear that and I didn't understand what it meant either. Some people say, man, I don't like being here by myself. And I was like, why do you want to be by yourself? It's cool.
Enemy counter recon aircraft returned. Capturing Baker. Enemy recon aircraft returned.
Actually, it is. It's not. Because when you figure out what exactly that means, you realize, like, no, I don't want to be up in this shit by myself. You really don't. I'm being honest with you, brothers and sisters. You really don't. You don't want to be out here by yourself. You don't. Some people say they don't care being by themselves. They're lying. I tell you the outright truth when I say that. It's a lie. They got their mama, they got their dad, they got somebody for them. And I used to sit up there and laugh at women and men like, man, I don't need that man. That's because you already got somebody you care about. You got a child or something. And some people, they don't have that. They never had that. You know, I'm just saying. And I didn't understand that when I came across a lot of women in my life, like, you know, I don't got nobody to care for me. I don't got, and I used to think it was, oh man, this bitch fucked up in the head. Now I understand that, especially women, this is why women have children. Because women feel like they need somebody to care for and someone they can care for them. Straight up honest when I say that. And now as a grown man, I finally understand what that means.
Firing primary battery. Target position confirmed. Paratroopers inbound. Order shot out. Sweeping the zone. Taking Charlie.
Nah, they ain't never been by themselves. Only a motherfucker who has been by themselves would say such a thing. Food for thought, good people. We have to start caring about what other people are feeling, and not just what we feel. I used to really shun people say, man, you only care about yourself. And now I understand what that means. It took me a long time to understand what it means, but I finally do. I get it. It is a bad thing to only care about oneself, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? I really understand that now. Took me a minute to realize, but now I realize, and now I strive for so much better.
Let's go. We got this.
Uh-oh. Sorry. Didn't mean it.
Able. Baker.
Okay.
Recon aloft. We have eyes in the sky. Charlie locked down. Counterintelligence airborne. Engaging enemy aircraft. Take it, Charlie.
Throwing stun grenade.
Counter recon is airborne. Engaging enemy aircraft. Enemy holds on. Taking Baker. We hold able. Baker locked down.
I am telling you.
Taking Baker. Throw altitude bomber inbound. Incendiary mission commenced.
Wow. I mean, man.
Low altitude bombing run underway. Capturing Baker.
Ooh.
Paratroopers descending. Capturing Baker. Recare packages inbound. Resupply and press enemy recon aircraft observed. They're taking Able.
Ooh, wait.
Taking Charlie. Enemy down. Aircraft gunner inbound. Target counter recon aircraft ready for flight. All positions secure. We have the lead. Counterintelligence airborne. They're taking Baker. They're taking Baker. Enemy flamethrower in the field. Enemy contact is Charlie. Enemy contact with Charlie. Paratroopers inbound.
Ooh, wait.
Counterintelligence flight concluded. RT enemy capturing Charlie. Charlie is lost. Taking Charlie.
Reloading.
Enemy contact with Able. They're taking Able. They're capturing Baker. They're capturing Able. Enemy capturing Charlie. Over there. Lost C. They're capturing Baker. Securing Charlie.
Brr. Yep, there it is.
Taking Baker.
Uh-oh.
They're taking Able. Securing Charlie. Grenade first. Closing with Charlie. Ready to engage. We control all objectives. Hold the line. Incoming enemy artillery. Get to cover. Enemy bomb incoming. Get to cover. Enemy capturing Able. Aircraft ready. Straight. Good job.
I did my thing.
You were.
Once again. He did his thing well. You gotta give to him. Where the win's a win, baby. Where the win is a win. Now, since we have gotten off of the first segment, which was about people not only not understanding what it means to love yourself so you can love someone else, but only loving yourself. I hope that helps certain people. If not, it's cool. It is what it is. Now, let's talk about relationships, right? we must understand as an individual, a relationship won't make you or break you, but it is important in human life for people to have relationships. People say, I don't need to fuck with nobody. You're lying. You're lying. Every time I've ever heard someone say that, I'd be like, you're lying. Don't say you don't want no relationship. Everybody wants a relationship. Anybody tell you they don't want a relationship, I'm like, ooh, something wrong with that motherfucker. Real talk. That's all the time what I say to myself, like, something wrong with that person. I don't know what you talking about, but I know what I want, you know. And that's just me. You know what I'm saying? That's me. Now, for me, I sit there and think to myself, like, damn, you don't want to fuck with nobody? You want to be by yourself? That shit crazy. Yeah. You know? All the time? It's crazy. It's crazy. So, it's a personal thing, too. Some people say, it don't matter, life is hard, I don't want to deal with nobody else, you know, I've been hurt too many times. You know, life is one thing that is going to happen to you people. You're going to get hurt. That's just part of life right there. You're going to get hurt. Somebody's going to hurt you. And it doesn't have to be your lover. It can be your family. You know that life is about struggle. Real talk. Life is a struggle.
Pick your shots.
You know, sometimes people come at me and they tell me, nah, man, you know, be by yourself. I'm like, no, man, I can't do that. I can't do that shit. I need me some all got around all kinds of coochie. I don't know what you doing, but I know what I ain't doing. I ain't finna sit in this bitch by myself. Now, some people feel like they can do what they want to do, you know, and that's always say that, do what you want to do at the end of the day, because you know what you want more than anybody else to do, and tell you what you want. And that's cool, you know. I think that's, you know, for me personally, I never try to tell nobody what to do. You do what you feel like you need to do. You know what I'm saying? Your heart get broke, you end up fighting with a person. For what reason? There's no reason for that, you know? Being honest with you. Life is what it is. Oh shit. Oh shit, I forgot I had that bullshit on my gun. Oh.
Counterintelligence airborne. Engaging enemy aircraft.
Oh boy.
Recon
was
airborne
terrible.
searching for targets.
Alright, I don't understand that, man. Dude getting shot. There we go. Lay it down. Oh, that nigga got blew up.
Recon searching for targets. Fighter aircraft ready for strafing run. Dropping Fritz X-bomb.
Strafe and run. This thing right here.
Counterintelligence airborne. Engaging enemy aircraft. Recon airborne. Searching for targets. Enemy fighter pilot. Fall back. Incoming enemy artillery. Get to cover. Enemy mortar fire incoming. Fall back.
about that, baby. So, yeah. When it comes to relationships, it's always a convoluted thing. It's always a complicated thing. Oh, it's not complicated. Yeah, it is complicated. Because your brain will get in front of your feelings. You may feel something for somebody, and you may go beyond your limit for a person that you really shouldn't be doing nothing for. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, that's cool and whatever, but shit, you got to sometimes think about yourself. But then I always go back to that's being just selfish when you only consider yourself and your own self-interest, you know? And to me, I think that's selfish. You know, that's just me. I can't speak for nobody else and what they feel about what they want to do, because I'm not going to try to. But for me, I feel like if you only care about yourself, you don't leave space or a place for nobody else to get the chance to be with you so they can feel what you want them to feel for you. You know, some people feel like, oh, you know, I really don't read, you know, motherfucker. They do all that talking and yicky yak, and they sitting over there just lonely like a motherfucker. You know what I've learned, though? I'm being honest, what I learned. When a person talks a lot about, I got this motherfucker, I got that motherfucker, they really don't have no motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? I had so many women I can't even count, y'all. Real talk. So many chicks I don't ran through. It's disgusting. And you know what? The thing is, one of the reasons why I slowed down and I tried with Latara, because I really did start feeling like a straight whore. I'm like, damn, I got me fucking me the bitch I need to fuck. I told my daddy, my no good father, I said, man, Joe, I've been with so many women, sir, you know, I really don't feel right about it. He said, son, how many women you been with? I told him, he said, shit, I wish I'd been with that many. I'm like, really?
Securing Baker. Enemy has drone. Baker locked down.
Holy shit.
Taking Baker.
That motherfucker.
We have the lead.
Oh boy. How in the world he jumped over that? I don't understand.
Charlie is lost. They're capturing Baker.
Oh my god.
Enemy holds all positions. Able
No, they
is
don't.
out. We're losing the fight. Closing the space.
No, they don't.
Securing Charlie. Enemy anti-aircraft fire. All air superiority. Dug in at Charlie.
This is actually pretty cool. I like this version.
They're capturing Charlie.
Got him.
I think he's dead. They're capturing Charlie.
Man, why didn't you see that nigga?
Winning the fight. They're capturing Charlie. Charlie is overrun. Enemy fighter pilot, fall back. Taking Charlie. Incoming enemy artillery. Get to
Oh,
cover.
motherfucker, use airplane on me.
Eyes in the sky. They're taking Able.
Still got that cap.
Dropping A's on top.
Damn.
Lost A. Enemy mortar fire incoming. Fall back. They're taking
Damn.
Baker. Cover me. Enemy holds all positions.
No, they don't.
We're dug in at Charlie.
We got it, though.
They're capturing Charlie. Taking aim. Enemy capturing Charlie. They're capturing Baker. They're
Come on,
capturing Charlie.
bruh.
Charlie is overrun. Counterattack. They're taking Baker. They're taking Baker. Recon airborne. Enemy recon aircraft observed. Securing Charlie. They're capturing Baker. They're taking Baker.
The fuck is dude coming from both sides? Come on, man. Y'all gotta do better than this.
All positions in enemy hands. Incoming enemy artillery. Capturing Charlie. Bring out women. Securing Charlie. Baker is ours. Taking Baker. Enemy anti-aircraft inbound. Hold all guns in Charlie. Firing for full effect. Target zone lost. B. Mortar shot out. Sweeping the zone. Enemy bomb incoming.
Whoa.
Get to cover. Capturing Baker.
Whoa. Wow, this nigga getting ripped. He got ripped to shreds. How in the world they surviving that, boy?
Enemy capturing Charlie.
Boy,
They're capturing Charlie. Capturing Charlie. C captured. Capturing Baker. Good work. Rest up for the next push.
oh boy. Oh my God. He killed everybody. That shit crazy. That shit crazy. But it's okay though. Next round, let's do it,
Hold
y'all.
all positions. Mission begins now. Remember your training. Enemy airdrop observed. Not enemy racing with Baker. You can.
Wow.
Incoming enemy artillery.
I don't understand how in the world he alive.
Enemy paratroopers in the sky. Go in and Baker. Enemy controls A. Enemy bomb incoming. Get to cover. Enemy controls Charlie. Zone bomb mission underway. Enemy recon aircraft observed. Fighter aircraft ready. Offer a striker. Anti-aircraft burst is commenced. Targeting enemy aircraft. Firing division artillery. Target position confirmed. Closing with A. Bomber ready for orders. Paratroopers inbound. Carpet bombing run inbound. Sending mortar rounds. Zone is sweet. Capturing Baker. Securing Charlie. Enemy special level cover. Get to cover. Capturing Charlie. Enemy fighter pilot. Fall back. Incoming enemy artillery. Get to cover. Securing Charlie. Enemy fighter pilot. Fall back. Charlie locked down.
Three more kills.
They're capturing Baker. Enemy covering fire.
Get her out of here.
Closing with 8. They're capturing Baker. They're taking Baker. Lost B. Enemy capturing Charlie. Enemy is down. Capturing Baker. Aircraft gunner ready for orders. They're taking Charlie. They're capturing Baker. Ball turret gunner inbound. Target zone confirmed.
Fuck you.
He's not gonna make it! They're capturing Baker!
That boy. They shoot fast, but it ain't that accurate.
Capturing Charlie! Lost C. Incoming enemy artillery. Get to cover. Capturing Baker. Capturing Baker. Enemy flak incoming. Ground all aircraft. Taking Charlie. Enemy capturing A. Taking Baker. We lost A. C captured. Low altitude bomber inbound. Incendiary mission commenced. Taking A. Securing Baker. Paratroopers descending. Baker locked it down. Great work. They are in full retreat.
HDR soon. Now, I just did another match. Uh-oh, what was that? Just did another match. We're going to see what's going on next. Gonna fix. Gotta go get this passport thing fixed, cause they ain't doing what they supposed to be doing. And they said they're gonna take the passport picture for me. So I gotta put on my best clothes, take the picture, and go get it. I hope. Mother says she doesn't like this haircut, but hey, I don't really care. Uh-oh. Let's see what we get. Dropping them boxes. Nothing. 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 And we get nothing. 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 All that shit. Not a thing. Yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to talk about. But now let's talk about gaming. Since I'm done and I don't play enough of that for right now. Take a little sip of my formula here. So check this out. So this weekend I was listening to a lot of podcasts. I listened to Weapon Wheel. I listened to Luca's podcast. I listened to a lot of podcasts, right? Sony is dominating Microsoft to a point where it's just getting embarrassing, to be honest with you. It's getting really bad embarrassing. So, I want to talk about that for a second, before I get off of here. Microsoft has never ever really generated their own intellectual IP that has come from them. Maybe it started off someplace else, but it's come from somewhere else. Project Gotham became Forza's, Halo, Bungie, Epic, Gears of War. You get the picture, right? So, one company is striving to be the third-party masterpiece place, and the other company is striving to be the first-party masterpiece place. Now, remember last time we had this conversation, my good people? I was talking about Sony's doing Killzone, right? This Killzone they're making is not about Vector. It's not about the humans in the Vector. It's on Earth, and it's a modern-day shooter and a new American Civil War, World Civil War, some shit like that. I know this is before all the other Killzones, so listen up closely. All right, so Call of Duty has basically committed suicide. I'm being honest. I mean, maybe the game may come out being good, but really, people are like, we just want our kill streaks, we want a lot of maps and good guns. Please don't mimic people playing other games like Battlefield. I don't like Battlefield. Battlefield guns are inaccurate. I'm sorry. Oh, this bullet drop and the guns are like lasers. I'm sorry. If I shoot a motherfucker, I want them to die. I don't want a bullet to go over here, bullet dropping there. It is what it is, right? So, I think what Killzone, and this is also another game which is for the multiplayer level anyway, is not Bungie, but 343's Halo game. They're going to make their own version of kill streaks. They're going to have their own version of creative classes, and you're going to see the death of you're going to see the death of Call of Duty. I'm seriously telling you, and I'm going to tell you something about Activision, right? Activision has other properties that we never talk about, because to be honest with you, besides Call of Duty and Overwatch, that's the only two games I really think that are made by Activision. Not true. They have a massively online multiplayer game, which escapes me at the moment. And they also have Diablo. These are also pretty big franchises, right? But the bitch that pays the bill is named Call of Duty. Now, let's say, as I kind of have a feeling that's going on right now, is that Activision is basically about to kill this franchise. And the thing about it, and I really appreciate now why Rockstar does what they do with their franchises and space them out a long time. Because if you constantly give somebody the same thing, they're going to eventually get bored of it. It's just like sex. Your girl got good pussy, but she won't suck your dick. You're going to get tired of that good pussy. I'm real tired. I'm sorry. I know people say, oh, no. Yeah, they will. Niggas get tired of it all the time. Now, I'm going to tell you something. So, we have the possibility of Activision killing themselves with the COD franchise. I'm being honest, they're going to kill themselves. They should have branched out to more franchises. I'm being honest. Now, right now, Sony in Japan are making a massive open world RPG. Listen to me now. Sony Japan is making a massive open world RPG. That's another thing underneath their belt. They got Horizon. They got Killzone. They got God of War. Now, only thing Sony really lacking, honestly, on their first party level is an arcade racer. And I wish, and I know it won't happen, my favorite arcade racer of all time is not Burnout. I don't give a fuck about Burnout. Skip that. I don't give a fuck about Need for Speed. Skip that. What I cared about was Midnight Club. And Midnight Club Double Edition Part 3 was the best, in my opinion. Not a fact. In my opinion, on the PlayStation 2. The game was crazy. It had these hot songs from people you never heard of. And there was some good songs. There's some Fabulous on there. There was some Overnight Celebrity from Twister and whatnot. That's the only game Sony's really lacking. Because of Killzone, and also I'm hearing they're trying to bring back Resistance in that generation too. That is 2 multiplayer games. They got it locked on the single player games, right? Let me tell you what's finna happen. And this is to the third party developers out there. Sony is proving to make you look like fools. Listen to what I'm saying. God of War, this God of War that just came out, looks better than, listen to me and I'm finna tell you good friends, it looks better than games on the PC. Listen really close. It ain't your TI, 10i, 680, 910, 50, 60 gig, 375 gig, 89 pieces of RAM. All of that didn't matter. God of War looks better. I go back a year ago. Horizon Zero Dawn looked at most better than most games that were on the PC, the Xbox, and the Nintendo. Oh, you know, Zelda was no, it wasn't Horizon though. Horizon looked better, and it's a new franchise, in my opinion. I remember having an argument, like I said, with the niggas I was cool with about Horizon was gonna be better than what was that? Oh God, I forget the name. Mass Effect. And it's been proven. Horizon is better than Mass Effect. The last Mass Effect. I ain't say overall the series. Nobody's saying that. I'm talking about the last Mass Effect came out. Horizon was a better game. Now, if Sony's doubling down, right? People say Nintendo's model is a stupid model. For Nintendo's age group, it's a stupid model. I'm being honest. In my opinion, it's a stupid model. Because the minute somebody comes in and they have mature games, they have their own first-person shooter with their own great online multiplayer, they have their own great single-player experiences, right? Then you go outside Sony's first party, which they have 21 studios to work with, right? You go outside Sony's first party, right? And you mosey yourself into the third party. Everybody wants to be like PUBG. Everybody wants to be like Battle Royale, Fortnite, right? There's a danger in that to third parties. So let's say Sony released a first-person shooter in the vein of Call of Duty with your kill streaks. You get 16 maps. You get all the guns. Let's say they make it so you can make the next gun like, oh, we just released the schematics to this gun. You have these certain pieces. You can make this gun. You can play it. We want you to charge you $6 for each map. We might bring out 6 more maps. Cool. End of the day, Call of Duty, you are dead. I'm going to go over to another game that everybody talks about, which is called Battlefield. Another microtransaction whore. I'm going to call it why I see it. It's a microtransaction whore. Microtransaction whore, right? So, you on this level, right, Sony has 2 of their own first-person shooters. The other one closer to Battlefield, the other one closer to Call of Duty. That's it. Nobody's going to be playing those multiplayer games. They have the baseball locked down. Now, we are hearing, and maybe I'm wrong, but the lifetime contract with the NFL is coming up due. There's a studio lined up right now thinking about making an NFL game on Sony's side. So, this idea, when I hear Xbox guys say, you know what, Microsoft is trying to corner the market. Let me tell you something. Microsoft ain't cornering anything. They're doing services and engines. Sony doesn't need their engines. They have Decima. They have the God of War engine. They have the Killzone engine, which is Killzone engine anyway. They have the Decima engine, which is the Killzone engine, excuse me. They have the engine for Infamous. They have the engine for God of War. They will have the engine from Naughty Dog. You don't need no third-party engines. Now, let's talk about ridge tracing math, right? This is a new thing that's going to be in next generation consoles, right? This is proving something that is very fortuitous for third-party developers. let me warn you third-party developers about this, right? There are going to be some of you that's going to take the initiative and step your game up. But the majority of you, you're not. Because you know what you care about? You care about microtransactions too much. Let me ask you a question. Big time developers, has microtransactions helped you as much as you think it's going to help you? People are, yeah, they buying all kinds of little pieces, right? But remember something. You can only ride that train for so long. Remember what I'm telling you. You can only ride that train for so long. Now, a Rockstar gives off all their multiplayer component stuff free. If I was Sony, I would do the same thing. For those two multiplayer shooters with single player storylines attached to them, I would give all the multiplayer DLC away for free. You would kill Battlefield and Call of Duty. And I'm telling you here, and I want you to listen to me. Activision and EA are cutting their own throat. I'm being honest. I'm going to tell you another company that's going to end up cutting their throat too. That company is called Ubisoft. Ubisoft don't know what side their butter is breaded on. They don't. They really they don't. Right? You make more money from Sony people. I'll tell you why you make more money from Sony people than anybody else. Because Sony people are multiplayer gamers. We like RPGs. We like strong single players. We like open world. Now the MMO thing, I'm not really my shit, but some niggas like that too. Now, you are playing on the field with Microsoft. I'm telling you something. You finna get a flag on a play 15-yard penalty, and you finna lose a lot of money. Let's move forward here in this conversation. Let's talk about another big developer, Bethesda, ZeniMax. Again, you're attaching yourself to someone who wants to become the Netflix of video gaming. Remember something. Not everybody can be Netflix. Netflix is bigger than Sony, Viacom. Hell, in 5 years, it might be bigger than Microsoft. Did you hear that? Netflix has the opportunity of being bigger than Microsoft. And this is the problem that I see with the video game industry as a whole. We don't want to stream our games. I don't know how many times it's been said. I don't know how many times it's been told to you. Imagine you playing a multiplayer online competitive shooter that you're streaming and yet you're playing in the multiplayer gameplay at the same time. This is a pipe dream for Xbox guys constantly coming up here talking about, well, Sony's going to do it too. Well, I'll tell you like this. If Sony does what Microsoft does, then I'm done with Sony. Period. Because the reason why I'm not done with Sony, because Sony is like that girl that you like, oh man, she give me everything I need. She cooks, she cleans, she sucks dick, and she ride my dick like it's going out of style. You feel me? That's what Sony's doing. What is Microsoft doing? Listen, you got the crap gamers and the moochers and the next gen 720s. They about to jump ship. I'm being honest, they're about to jump ship. And I'm going to tell you who else about to jump ship on the Xbox. It's called Microsoft. Did you hear that? Microsoft is about to jump ship on the Xbox. And only a fool can't see that. Let me give you some advice, people. Quote the great Emmanuel Jesus Christ in heaven. You can read the signs in the sky, but you can't read the signs of the time. There's big flashing signs. Listen, it ain't gonna cost nothing for Microsoft to make another console. They hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of $1 billion in their pocket. They think so. They're not worried about that. 35 million. I'm telling you, after God of War, by the time E3 hits and Detroit hits, Sony might be at 95 million. 95 million. Magic number. Listen to it. 95 million. Okay? Let's not. Now, I know they're not going to announce the PlayStation 5 at E3. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. This is just my opinion. I'm not calling this a fact. You go into next generation. There's not one person that I know or don't know that ain't going to buy a PlayStation 5. It is baked into the cake. Now, This is what Microsoft and Nintendo can do. You will never be the main chick. You can be the side bitch. You will never be the main or the stain. You'll be a thot. That's what you can be. Because you have let Sony solidify themselves in the hearts and minds of gamers on the globe. When you go to Africa, PlayStation. You go to Asia, PlayStation. You go to the Caribbean, PlayStation. You go to Latin America, where the niggas at, spicks at, or gooks at, or anything you want to call in between, crackers, whatever. PlayStation. We are looking at total world domination. This is Oracle type shit. Let me give you another point of view for the PC end of it. For the PC end of it, I want you to listen to me, PC gamers, right? You will have tens and thousands of indies and tens of thousands of games, right? But you won't have Spider-Man. You won't have God of War. You won't have Horizon Zero Dawn. You won't have those. So what's that's going to be? I'm going to tell you something for the PC side of it. The PlayStation 5 does not need to be 15 teraflops. It don't need to be 20. I say honestly 11 to 12, maybe even 10 would be enough. It would be enough. You have a TIII X165 six-figure beast of a machine and still won't look good as get a God of War. Horizon Zero Dawn 2. I'm telling you right now, hear me boys and girls. The physics in that game were like nothing else. Rocks exploded when the rock got hit. Trees became splintered. Houses fell apart. Wood came apart. Nobody even talks about that. I'm playing Call of Duty a minute ago. A bomb blow up. I'm inside of a wood thing and the thing doesn't explode with the bomb. I'm doing a kill streak, dropping bombs on top of people. They not dying because they're under a structure. It's a carpet bomb, and that building should be flat. Did you get that? Then you go over to Microsoft exclusives. Think of any of Microsoft exclusives that did what Horizon did. Zero. Say it again. Zero. I'm really worried for Microsoft. No, excuse me, for the Xbox. I agree with next gen 720. Maybe they should sell it off. Need to sell it off. That's that chick that the man she got, he don't care about her. He really don't. I'm being honest. You need to sell it off. Give it somebody who will care about the franchises, the console, all of it. Because right now, they don't care about it. I'm being honest. They don't care about it like they're supposed to. What else I want to say? Here's another thing coming at it from Xbox, right? I've listened to Rand, I've listened to Luca, I've listened to GKB, I've listened to She-Wolf, I've listened to Foxfire, I've listened to a lot of people who are straight Xbox people, right? And these are not the crap gamers of the world. These are real Xbox fans, and I respect them. I respect them. But I want to tell you something. Those who play on the X or the Xbox One, you know what? I'm being honest with you. If you're still dependent on Microsoft to give you what you want, they won't. What I would do if I was you guys, I would call up my friend like, yo, my nigga. I know you ain't black. I know you're a Caucasian or Asian, whatever the fuck you want to be. But listen, I want you to say it just like this. My nigga, it's time for us to get that next PlayStation 5. PlayStation 5 ain't out yet. No. Don't worry about this generation. This generation's over. It's over next year. So what I want you to do is save that $500 to $600 that you may need for your game or 2 games and the controllers or whatever you want to pay for. Whatever you gonna do. And get ready for that PS5. Key one, we are in 2018. I'm sitting in front of a nice 4K television. It's a nice 4, but it doesn't have no HDR. You can't make it look like having people online. My TV look like it got HDR. No, it don't. You ain't never seen HDR. If you think your TV got HDR, your TV don't have HDR. This TV doesn't have HDR. Neither. Just don't. Pawn shop said they'll give me $250 for it. What? It is out of here. It's out of here. It's out of here like a ball, a strike to the bowling pin. This bitch is gone. Now, let's keep it calm because my mother's a Christian religious zealot. It's sad. But here it is. You need a TV with at least HDR10. Now, what I'm hearing is HDR10 Plus is being given out to a lot of different companies, right? I kind of hope LG, because I'm finna go with LG this time. I really want Sony. God, we don't want a Sony TV, but I ain't got enough money for it. I want a 49-inch or a 43-inch. I don't want a 50 again. I've had a 50, and you know what? It's not very well thin pretty quickly. Because the thing about the bigger a TV is, and I said this last time, the bigger it is, it's better to spend more for it. Let me say that again. The bigger a television is, the better to spend more for it. And I'll tell you why. The guts of the TV are even more important than the screen. So what do you mean the guts? Listen. Let me tell you something. Processing. Like, if your TV doesn't have a processor in it, it really plays, the television looks awful. It looks god awful. I mean, it looks so bad. You're like, what am I looking at? I'm telling you, this is a couple of times. I got a 4K television, right? I was watching The Walking Dead. I swear The Walking Dead like it came out in 1972. Like, huh? What do you mean? Listen to what I'm telling you. Hear what I'm saying. If your TV doesn't have a good upscaler in it to clear up that picture's going to look like trash. And look, if you see this TV sitting right here, right now, looking at it, like, what? This look hot, it's clear, it's everything, but the TV doesn't process 1080p. It doesn't process 480p. It doesn't process anything. You get the signal it's given. The TV does nothing. Nothing. You feel me? So that's another story on a whole nother level. I'm telling you, you gotta get up with that with a name brand. Now I'm telling you something. The TCL is pretty nice too. I'm kind of torn, real talk, because the TCL is like 313 and it's a 55 inch. I'm like, oh, that's as big and beautiful. But here's my question: is the processing good on it? Now, what they're telling me is, I went to the store and looked at the TCL. That TCL, that 405. Now, I'm not even talking about the P607. I'm talking about the 405. 405 is a nice television, and it has really, really clear picture. Really clear. So, I have both in my cart right now. And I'm going to go out of here, and I'm going to pick it up on Wednesday. I'm going to be out the door, and I'm going to go get that bitch. But this one right here, since he wants $250, I'm gonna go get it. Hold on, I'm live streaming. Hold on, I'm almost done. And so that's the main thing when you think about it for a second, is that you gotta realize that when you upgrading, you have to be conscious of what the processing is. You gotta be updated on that one. And as far as other things, right? Let's get back into gaming for a second, right? So, next generation is going to be 2019 and 2020, respectively. This is it's still 2 years away. 2019, if you go from November of 2017 to November 2019, that's 2 years. But still, you in the year of 2018, so you still got months and months and months to go. Okay, that's months and months away. Okay, here it is. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to get back on here later today, and I want to find out about future-proofing. Future-proofing. Okay. So what I mean by that is, I'm going to go and I'm going to look online, and see what TVs will support HDR10 plus, because it still uses the HDR10, but it's plus because of the panel is able to take another level of HDR. Okay. Dolby Vision, LGS is pretty cool because it's for regular television, your cable, let's say your streaming services. It's a different form of HDR, but it gives you HDR regardless, right? So this is a whole nother thing. Now, one thing I talked about on this stream before on many occasions is that I really don't want them to do 8K. And there's some lower brand televisions are putting out 8K sets, right? I think it's Hisense, it's Toshiba are trying to bring 8K sets to the market. Here's the problem. We just technically started getting 4K in 2012, 2013. It's only been 7 years. Think about the gulf of what 1080p to up to now was, right? 4K Blu-ray came out in like 0506, right? Okay, we went from 0506 to 2013. The first 4K televisions really did not become, they didn't hit the market and become hot until 2014, 2015, 2016. See how many years that is? Now we're in 2018 and 4K televisions are finally arriving, right? The ideal of like 5 or 6 years from now you're going to 8K, not possible. Because there's a big problem with that. Okay, you're going from 2 million pixels to 4 million pixels. So what does that mean? Now imagine if you're going from 4K to 8K. So you're at 4 million plus pixels away from 2. Because 2K is 1440p. 3K is 1800p. 4K is 2160p, but that's not the 4K you get at the movie theater. The 4K at the movie theater is like 444, something like that. It's much higher than the one you get in your televisions. It's for a reason, because it'd be too expensive. Now, if they do 8K televisions, you're not going to get that 724500p. You're not going to get that. It's not commercially viable. How could you ever sell a television for that much of technology? That's just the screen. We're not even talking about the guts. And once again, like I said, the guts are very, very important. The guts are extremely important inside of a television. The processing is important. Let me give you an example. I'll tell you something. I had a 720p plasma. It was called an RCA plasma. It had 6 HDMIs. Let me tell you something. I would watch Batman on that television, and I still ain't never seen a television play the blacks like that. I mean, the black was black. Do you hear me? The black was black. It, in some ways, it kind of reminds me of HDR, but it wasn't an HDR TV. Don't get it twisted, nowhere near. But there was no cloudiness. When you see water, it looked like water. The movement was on point. I played Assassin's Creed Black Flag on the 360 just to test it out, just to see what it was. I didn't even tell nobody I even had it. And I was like, wow, look at the detail. I got rid of that TV because I was like, yeah, I want to get a 1080p. And I think back to like, what the fuck was I doing? I should have held on to that 720p television up to when the PlayStation 4 Pro came out. I would have been better off. I would have been so much better off, because I've been through so many televisions, because they've, look, let me tell you something. White peak brightness is not more important than blacks. The whites are whiter. They don't listen to me. I'm trying to tell you something right now. Your whites can be good. Your blacks are great. That TV's a $4,000 or $5,000 TV. Your whites can be okay, and your blacks can be good. That TV's still over $2,000 or $3,000. If your whites are great and your blacks are bad, the TV's cheap. Shadow detail, right? People ask me, what's shadow detail? Shadow detail means that it casts realistic shadows on the background. Let's say there's a mountain in the background. They're showing like one of those nature videos, and the mountain is the sun is hitting the ground where the mountain's at, and it casts these realistic shadows, and it really pops when you see that. It ain't just about the colors, it's about the blacks, and it's about the contrast ratio. Now, contrast ratio is white. Listen to me now, here's a trick. Contrast ratio is white. Back in the day when 1080p was at its height, they would have, this TV has 90,000 contrast to 1. And the TV would look great, but when you put it in the black area, it would look like garbage. You know why? The blacks were low. And these TVs often had these things what they call black enhance. You know what black enhance would do? It would turn the blacks off. And the whole background of the screen will become gray. What it would do, in some respects, it will fix the blotchiness you would see in black areas, like this little symbol. It's called cloudiness, or is it called artifacting? It will get rid of the artifacting in the television completely. You wouldn't see it no more. That's why they had that thing called increasing or decreasing blacks. Here's another little sweet trick for you. Gamma. Now, gamma control does a lot of great things. A lot of great things, right? So what does the gamma control do? The gamma control really helps the black levels. Once again, good gamma, good black levels. Now, the 49-inch LG I really want it is slightly smaller than this 50. This TV is 49.5. The RCA is 1 inch smaller. It has like one less HDMI. That's fine. But I think the most important thing is that it has HDR. And I'm not going to play God of War until I get my HDR. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to buy it. I already bought it, excuse me. I'm going to download it to my consoles. I already downloaded too. I didn't pay for that Call of Duty yet, the other one. I'm going to play it to my heart's content. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to play the game, you know what I'm saying? It's weird that people don't get in the party with me no more. So, hey, it is what it is. And, you know, I'll make some new friends, I think, sooner or later. If I don't, it's okay. I don't give a shit. But I think if we think about this logically, HDR10 and HDR10 Plus is the future. LMG and all this is the future. Dolby Vision is a problem for me. And I'm going to tell you why. Dolby Vision is meant for 12-bit panels. Oh, how the hell you know? I did my research. That's how I know. I did my research. That's how I know. I'm not the greatest speller, but I can read my ass off. And what I read was that you need a 12-bit panel to truly take advantage of Dolby Digital. HDR10 is the only thing you really need. And I kind of hope that Sony sticks with HDR10 through the entirety of the next generation. Here's another thing for you boys and girls I think we should also consider. I've had 60 friend requests from different people. I haven't accepted none of them. Because, really, I mean, I want to talk to Swag and Sharon. That's who I talk to. That's who fuck know me. But then again, maybe they don't know. Maybe they don't know more. Maybe I don't change too much. Maybe I'm just a different person now. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe my mindset is different. Because, you know, this past fall, being honest with you, it was like, I come in a party, and it was like, it was two people talking, and I was the third wheel, and I was like, you know what? Let them chill and do what they're going to do, right? Because I wasn't buying, what's the name of that game? Destiny 2. Failure. Here's the thing was funny, right? This last year, if you pick, I didn't play, what's the name of that? I didn't buy Monster Hunter World. I didn't buy that yet. I will get it eventually, but not right now. So, this past year, I bought Mass Effect, which I didn't like. It was an okay game, but it felt like it was missing something. I enjoy Horizon Zero Dawn much better. I bought Call of Duty. And I did not buy, and I followed my first mind on this one. I did not buy Destiny 2 because I knew it was a trap. I'm looking at, damn, that game look good. I got $70 right. How come? No. And my mind was right. Let's go on to, I'm trying to think of the name of the game. What you call the worlds? Monster Hunter Worlds. It's going to be on sale sooner or later. Well, I play that, be it that I don't even talk to nobody but do my live streams, and I talk to my nephew Brandon. We trying to do our podcast, and I don't know, because I was going to buy this next Call of Duty. I gotta wait until the 17th to see, because if it's a modern shooter, it's a get, it's a buy. But if it's like they say it's gonna be like Overwatch, it's not gonna be bought by me. It's not. I don't appreciate jumping off walls. I don't appreciate none of that. So that's what it is. What else I would like to say regarding the future of gaming? Okay, so for anybody listening to me that has a 1080p TV, right? Here's another thing I want to tell you. I might go with this next television. It's going to be 43 inches. It might be 49. One or the other, whichever the one of the two is cheapest. The most important thing is the HDR. The size of the television really don't matter. If you're going to go big, you have to go big price. Let me give you an example. Samsung sells the MU8000. That's their regular television. And then they have the MU6300. That TV is garbage. What do you mean? Listen to me. If you get it in the 40 size, it's good. Any bigger, the TV starts to fade and the colors become bad. Let's move over back up to Samsung's 8000 MU. It's a pretty good television. The MU7000 is also a pretty good television. These are the two mid-tier televisions, right? But the bigger the size of those sets, the worse the picture performs. Listen to what I'm telling you. Look it up on ratings.com. The bigger the television, they call it uniformity problems. That just means the picture don't look as good. That's it. When they say uniformity problems on the television, it means the TV don't look that good. All right. Now, let's go over to that next level for them called the QLED. QLEDs look amazing. They look amazing. I'm not even going to front. They look good. They got good blacks. They don't have great blacks. They have good blacks, and they look very good. And Samsung's top of the line. And Samsung, in my opinion, makes the third or second best television. All right? But they're not number one at all. Now, let's move over to LG. LG makes very good televisions on the color accuracy. I mean, listen, I watched The Last Unicorn, which is a colorful cartoon. That boy, that color's pop. I'm like, yo, them colors are clear. Them colors are on point. But if you don't get the TV brand new with them, the TV sort of suffers a little bit. And I'm gonna tell you something. And then it's television, which is good or bad too. There's another thing, right? So LG's 6300 and 6200 TVs are pretty good. They give you the option for judder and de-judder, which gives you a very good soap opera effect, but it doesn't incur what they call lag or ghosting. Pretty good TVs, right? But those TVs become garbage when you get past 49 inches. You hit 55, the TV starts looking a little funny. 65 is trash. Here's another thing they don't tell you people about the big TVs. The bigger the television, the shorter its life. What? Yep, listen to me again. The bigger the television, the shorter of its lifespan. That's right. The bigger the television, the shorter of its life. That's a shock. That's what it is. The shorter the life of that TV, the bigger it is. I'm trying to tell you. Now, let's go over to the next level of LGs, which is their super LED. Call that micro LED televisions, right? Pretty good TVs, but they're using IPS panels. Those panels, what they do is they give you better viewing angles, but the problem with those panels is it has the problem of having image retention a little. It doesn't stay forever. It's not going to be burned into your television, but the image stays there a little bit, but it's not going to stay there forever. It just has a little bit of image retention. But the TVs, overall, they're pretty good. Let's move on to the top level, high end, the motherfucking beast line, which is the OLEDs. OLEDs give you the best possible picture. Do you hear me? Nothing. I don't care what you say your TV can do. I don't care who it's made by. If it ain't OLED, it's dead. Did you hear that? OLED lays a lot. It lays everybody out. Stretch them out wide, put a bullet in the head, bang, bang, bang. That OLED don't kill you. I don't care what nobody tells you. Can't nobody compete with OLED. My sister got an OLED, and she got a nice she got a nice Samsung. That OLED shits on that Samsung. It shits on that Samsung. Straight up. And it doesn't matter if it's the QLED. It doesn't matter if it's the MU. You can't mess with OLED. I'm sorry. And then the processing in the TVs are pretty good too. Now let me jump over who's the king of the mountain when it comes to television. Boop, 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 boop. Sony. Sony, in my opinion, last year, I don't know if they're going to do it this year, but last year had the best televisions. Across the board, I don't care what no motherfucker tell you, they're lying if they say Sony didn't have the best TVs. They did. And Sony has had the best television for 3 years running, which is the ZZ9D. It's the best television. It even beats OLED. That TV's that good. It costs $5,000, but it's $5,000 well spent if you got it. I ain't got it, so it ain't well spent by me. But I'm just telling you. Now, we go down to the bottom line where they got the X730E and all those. Those are just Sony's entry levels. And they're just alright TVs. They're $500-600, and you get $500-600 worth of out of it. It's not that good of a television. Let me tell you. When you step up to the 900E, not the 800E, no, the 900E. The 900E was the best television for the bang for your buck last year. Period. It was better than TCL 607. It was better than anything out there at that level. And I'll tell you why. It ain't just the zones, the FLD for local dimming. It was deeper than that. The television has something that most people don't think about: motion. Television can look amazing, but the motion will make you dizzy and sick if it's not smooth. I'm trying to tell. I'm being honest. This TV has an excellent picture. The colors, I can't even front. The colors it's off the chain. But it has terrible motion, and it gives me a headache sometimes looking at it. Real talk. I'm looking at these little pieces of like fire things floating down right now. You can see that, like you can touch it, but it's not. The motion is. Look, if you can see it, how it's moving, it's smeared when it moves across the screen. Smeared. The X900E and the TV that replaced it, they're top of the line. Sony made that TV better, but they added the X1 Extreme processor in that TV. The next level of it, great TV. Anybody telling you that TV ain't a great TV, they're lying. The 900E was the best TV for the bang for your buck last year. Period. You can mark it down. You can say whatever you want to say, but you couldn't beat that 900E. Let's move a step up to the 930E. This TV, what they call, is called the light cannon. Now, it only has a single strips of LEDs at the bottom. But what it does with the LEDs, with the slim back drive and black frame insertion, the television is amazing. But the movement and the input lag is pretty strong if you're a gamer. But it's still a very, very good TV. It's the next level. The 940E only comes in one size, 75 inches. And it too is a very good television, but it's too big. I can't put no 75-inch TV up here. It look like stupid. Looks stupid. I ain't putting no 75-inch up here. And plus, it costs like $4,000, so I definitely ain't gonna buy that. Moving up to the Z9D, top of the line, the best LED TV you can buy is better than the LG's OLED. It's the only television that can compete with the OLED. The Sony Z9D has excellent, amazing, excellent picture quality. It's a top of the line television. It's a beast. It's a monster. Like, you know how Microsoft called the beast is going to give it to you? The Z9D will give it to you. And it will give it to your pocket too, because it's going to take all your goddamn money. That wasn't going to do. Now, we move up to Sony's OLEDs. They got the AF1, which is the new TV for this year, and they got the A1E from last year. The best picture, bar none. Let me tell you something. LG said they put their own A1 chip in their televisions to compete with Sony's A1E televisions. Still don't compete with it. Still don't. And it's about to tell you something here. LG makes the best OLED televisions if you're going against LED and QLED televisions. Make the best television until you run into the Sony Z9D. When you run into the Sony OLEDs, those are the best TVs on the planet. They look the best. Now here it is though. OLEDs have burn-in issues like old school plasma. Both of them suffer from that. Actually, everybody who makes an OLED suffers from that. And plus, they're very expensive to produce. You may produce 60 OLED panels and 45 are good. The rest you got to throw away. OLED is a very sensitive piece of technology. Here's something I want to tell you guys about the future. Now, it's three possible futures when it comes to television. Laser television, not talking about the projector laser television. There's another kind of laser television they're working on. QLED or micro LEDs. And there's another. It's called, it's close to what plasma was. It used gases, but they're not even talking about it, right? These are three practice TVs a lot of manufacturers are looking at right now. And when they first come out, they're going to be highly expensive. The laser LED television, the laser lit television. So what they do is, instead of using phosphorus bulbs like they used to use in the old television, or little LED strips at the bottom and the tops or the sides, these lasers are on a grid. So imagine behind your television a grid, like with little squiggly lines back and forth all through the TV, right? And the laser, they have 3 bars in the different color bars, blue, red, and green. But also I think there's a 4th bar, white one, right? So this powers the television. The picture quality on these televisions is bar none the best you've ever seen. But the problem with the laser is, unlike the LED, they can't control its zones yet. And that's why they have not been released. That's why they haven't been released. It's impossible to stop, because the laser is always on. And another thing about using laser television, lasers create enormous amounts of heat and they use an enormous amount of power. So your current television that you're using doesn't touch what a laser television will do. The number of your electric bill will be off the motherfucking charge. I can tell you, it'll be off the motherfucking charge. Now, micro LED or QLED technology, which a lot of companies are using too, the expense price for it is going down, of course. It's going to be profitable for them to do that. Now, I don't suspect Sony or LG or a few other TV providers to use that technology. They're going to stick close to OLED until this laser stuff comes along. Now, here's another thing when I go back to OLED, I want to tell you guys something. If you fix the inherent problems, and I'm pretty sure maybe it's a year out, maybe it's 2 years out. I think when we see CES next year, Sony and LG, the main two OLED TV producers, will fix burn-in, image retention. If you fix these two problems and able to drop the price of the televisions, everybody will buy OLEDs. There would be no reason to buy any other kind of television. That's just the truth. Now, my brothers and sisters, I have come to an end of another video. Well, live stream to say the least. Let us have fun. Let us make love. Let us be happy. I know I talked about a lot of shit today. Peace, love, and God bless, and let everybody be happy. Happy.